I thought I was done with Black Ops 7, but it seems like it isn't done with us, because now there's even more nonsense to talk about when it comes to this game. But I want to also speak on Battlefield 6, which was obviously Black Ops' biggest competition this year, and based on what I'm seeing anyways, it's become very evident that Battlefield 6 has 100% beaten Black Ops 7 in every meaningful way that it matters this year. So, I stand corrected. I genuinely thought that Call of Duty would have the staying power to still rival or maybe even surpass Battlefield due to people being on autopilot when it came to buying these sorts of games in the first place. And yet, in an incredible twist of fate, it seems, that has finally been changed, and Battlefield 6 has officially won. And they've won so big, and I just know that Activision is not happy right now about any of this. And as you'll come to see, the future does seem pretty grim for Call of Duty, because if it isn't Battlefield, they also got Grand Theft Auto on the horizon as well. But at least we can all agree on one thing, that Call of Duty is getting obliterated this year for sure. Let's start with what's been revealed lately about Battlefield 6, because it's important to bring that context when also speaking on Call of Duty. As IGN reported here, Battlefield 6 has officially surpassed everything that has been released in the past 3 years or so when it comes to strictly revenue within its release date in the United States at least, which, let's be real, that's a massive feat. Considering the US is easily one of the most lucrative markets for a game like this, but that's extra impressive because, again, need I remind you guys, as also seen here from IGN, Black Ops 6 from last year was the biggest launch in Call of Duty history. So knowing this and now placing that against Battlefield 6's historic release, this means that in America anyways, that Battlefield 6 has officially beaten every single Call of Duty release, including its biggest with their launch, that's Battlefield 6 of the last few years. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. But it's not like it just happened out of nowhere. Obviously, Vince Zampella, who founded Infinity Ward back in the day, that made Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which if you ask me, that's still one of the most defining AAA releases of all time, alongside other games like Halo 3, which was responsible for spearheading and shepherding the eventual creation of Battlefield 6. Now don't get me wrong, Battlefield 6's campaign was still not great, but it was better than Black Ops 7's, which even to this day, I couldn't really tell you how Activision thought that campaign was a good idea or not. And also, if you want more non-corporate slop content, consider subscribing, liking the video, and all of that, thank you, but EA was at least smart enough to take Vince Zampella and just give him full creative control of Battlefield 6, and I mean, the numbers just tell the story better than I ever could. As GameSpot reported here, when Battlefield 6 initially launched, it sold 7 million copies right out of the gate, which is huge, and by now, I would wager it's well over 10 million, at least with the Christmas season on its way, where games like this will sell even more copies due to discounts and then some. Battlefield 6 is a massive success, and a rare AAA win if you ask me. It also didn't run like molasses at launch, and was actually stable. It's almost as if when you give developers the time to make games well, they will perform better. Wow, who could have guessed that? But Battlefield 6 and Black Ops 7 are two sides of that same coin, and every year, these sorts of big wig companies are flipping it to see which side they're going to land on. Usually, by now anyways, we would hear the sales performance of the latest Call of Duty title. Yet this year so far, there's been nothing, which doesn't surprise me given the reception to Black Ops 7. I am also surprised how the initial somewhat good reception to Black Ops 7 as a full package has now soured in record time as well. So in case you forgot, originally, Black Ops 7 launched to around an 84 or like an 83 on Metacritic, which for Call of Duty is great given their previous games. Anyways, if you go to OpenCritic right now to check this all out, as you can see here, well, Black Ops 7 is not doing so hot right now. 67% from critics, only 45% of them recommend the game, and the player rating is, well, abysmal as you can see. Even on Metacritic, it's actually gotten even worse. Like I said, 83 or 84 at launch, now as you can see here, it's at 70, and the user score is, yep, not great either. So this is yet another game that has not impressed anyone pretty much. I mean, it's just the same thing again, man. For example, as of this video going live, Activision just added Nuketown 2025 to Black Ops 7. And I just gotta say, dude, what are we doing? Isn't this the 7th, or I guess 8th time if we count Cold War, where this map has been in these games now? Does Nuketown really need to be in every Black Ops game every single year? Like, there's already 4 remastered maps in Black Ops 7 at launch. You got Hijacked, Express, Raid, and I guess now Nuketown. I just can't get excited about Nuketown anymore. It's like Shipment to me with Modern Warfare. I get get why they're in the game. It's because they're small so people can farm experience for their guns and levels. But like, dude, can we just get new, smaller maps instead? At what point do we realize we're just playing the same content over and over again? Is that not boring to you guys? I personally have zero interest in Nuketown or Shipment anymore because I've played those maps like many of you guys 100 times and then some. Besides, you can level your guns playing all the other modes anyways. Anything is more fun than again spawning in that backyard in Nuketown to run between the two buses in the middle to shoot people as some guy probably snipes you from the upstairs bedroom or I guess from the garages on either side of the map. Oh boy, can't wait for another round of Hardpoint on Nuketown. Oh, what's that? The enemy team is hiding in the corners of the living room again? And let me guess, there's a guy on the stairs that's looking down as you run up as well. Isn't it crazy how everything I just said, I guarantee you that anyone who's played these games before, all of your brains, you just mentally mapped out and knew exactly what parts of the map I was talking about with Nuketown? Probably down to the furniture in those rooms and the colors of those walls. Let's go up the stairs and look, there's a desk there on your right, and then you turn left and you go to a bedroom and then you jump out and there's the buses again. Like, which just kind of proves my point, you know? Like, we've been here and we've done this. It's time for something new already. Look, I get it. Call of Duty is fun to play. As I said before, it's virtual junk food. Sure, it offers no real substance. It's not going to make you get any meaningful gains, but it's like when women enjoy watching trash reality TV. It's basically that, but you know, with guns and kill streaks. So I totally get why people play these games. Hell, I play these games from time to time myself. But by God, do we need something new? It's great though that players are kind of just abandoning Black Ops 7 though, because it just needs to happen. It's wild, however, that we're about a week into Black Ops 7's release and the game is already down to 69,000 players on Steam, as you can see here. Battlefield 6 is routinely sitting at around the 200,000s on Steam, and it only dips below that when people have to go to work, which I mean makes sense for obvious reasons. It doesn't help either way, since places like comicbook.com, for example, had articles just blasting Black Ops 7 too. As they also reported here, Black Ops 7 had the worst debut on Steam for this series so far, and this leads really nicely into this next story. But in case you just don't know how to unlock the endgame mode for Black Ops 7, which is pretty much an extraction shooter mode, you need to beat the campaign first, and I guess now a week into its release. Activision has now decided to just say, you know what, screw that, and then just jump the gun, as IGN reports here, and now they made endgame now just open to everybody. Whether this was always intended to happen a week later or not, I obviously can't say, but it is interesting timing-wise either way, since the campaign got so much heat for being terrible that Activision probably realized that this game mode would have next to no players unless they just made it available immediately. And that's probably for the best in the future that they never do this again. Don't tie any specific game mode wise exclusively behind completing what is arguably your least played mode every single year. And even more so this year, because the campaign was just straight doo-doo feces if you ask me. Like, I still can't believe that I played a campaign where I was unironically shooting spiders and zombies as a specialized Black Ops soldier. Like, what even is games sometimes, man? But Activision has confirmed that they're going to give XP tokens to players who suffered through the campaign, which I guess is a nice bonus, but it's still not going to wash the nasty out of what I had to play. But again, all of this stuff I mentioned is plaguing Black Ops, and Battlefield is kind of just sitting there pretty unbothered and having a blast pretty much. As Game Rant posted here a few days back, EA just flat out declared victory over Black Ops 7, which, man, that must have felt good to do. And I mean, again, Battlefield 6 is clearly becoming the player's choice over Call of Duty, which if you're a fan of COD, that probably annoys you. But let me tell you why that's actually a good thing. You see, you do want Call of Duty to fail. I know that sounds stupid at first, but just let me say this. You see, when a franchise goes on for so long uncontested like COD has, where they're making boatloads of money year after year, churning out Nuketown or Shipment reskins constantly, eventually complacency becomes their new normal. Think of it like someone who is really successful, okay? They'll keep replicating that same formula until eventually it just stops working. And Battlefield 6 is that big fat wrench that's being tossed expertly right into the gears of Call of Duty as a machine, and now nothing is working as intended. This is actually good news, because Call of Duty needed to be roundhouse kicked in the neck for once, and it's been a long time coming. And now that they're on the ground, looking absolutely stupid as Battlefield just threw them around like Mini-Me and Austin Powers in that one scene, where Austin puts Mini-Me in the burlap sack, and then, like, you know, smashes it through the furniture. Like, I love those movies. But anyways, that's Call of Duty right now, okay? They're covered in glass, they're bruised, they're beaten, and now they've been humiliated. They've effectively hit rock bottom, and now that they've smashed their fists against it, they now know that they need to prove themselves again. And it's actually in that phase, the rebirth if you will, that many games do come back better than ever. And how do I know this? Well, because Battlefield 6 is in that phase right now as we speak. Like, think about it. Battlefield was a joke for almost 10 years. Battlefield 5 was mired in stupidity and horrible netcode. By the time they figured themselves out, most players already walked away. Then they did 2042, which again didn't have a campaign mode, and like 5 was a horrible mess at launch with terrible matchmaking, stability, and all the usual slop problems games like this happen to go through. Battlefield was like Black Ops 7. They had that moment, however, for years. They too were at rock bottom, laying winded, bewildered, and beaten, as Call of Duty was twerking on their corpse for years just uncontested. Activision was making billions. Battlefield was lambasting in mediocrity, but because of that failure, because players left to go play other things, EA then finally realized they needed to get their act together. And like I said before, they then brought on Vince Zampella, the mastermind of Modern Warfare design, and told him, here, take this franchise and make whatever you think is best. And then boom, it did better than all the games Call of Duty released in the last couple of years at least, when Battlefield was, lying in a ditch, cheeks up, half asleep as Call of Duty just raked in the cash. So in a lot of ways, it took Call of Duty destroying Battlefield to bring DICE and EA back to their senses. So it is only rationally now means that now DICE curb stomping Call of Duty should then bring them also back to their senses too. However, the problem either way is that Call of Duty is a yearly franchise. We all know it's probably going to be Modern Warfare 4 next. Well, at least maybe. Well, I can't even say that definitively, but my hope anyways is that if Modern Warfare 4 is coming, then hopefully it's more like the first Modern Warfare, as in Modern Warfare 2019, not the 2001. Again, these double naming things in franchise is stupid, but you get the point. Because if you ask me, Modern Warfare 2019 was actually a good game. I really liked it. The campaign was great. Multiplayer was fun, besides that one map in London. In like the Times Square area, like God, that map was awful, but the rest of it was fun. Modern Warfare 2 then came out, and that was where Infinity Ward already started to lose the plot. And then by Modern Warfare 3, they had their Black Ops 7 moment pretty much, where they just went off the rails into WTF land. So here's hoping that Modern Warfare 4 is like the first one and actually has the time to be great, but also that it needs to be cooked long enough to ensure that it doesn't end up as Black Ops 7 or Modern Warfare 3.5. However, there is another big wrench that could get tossed into Activision's system next year, which is of course Grand Theft Auto 6. Because if Battlefield 6 was able to ruin Activision's plans the way that they did this year, you can bet that GTA 6 is going to be even worse. I can already hear people saying, but they're different genres technically. Well, you see, when it comes to GTA 6, that doesn't matter, because nothing will be safe when that game inevitably releases. You could be a Japanese role-playing game. You're still going to get cooked by GTA either way. So let's say that GTA keeps its release date of November 2026, okay? That's usually when Call of Duty drops new games. Even if they were to move their Call of Duty game to October that year, they could enjoy a single month, maybe uninterrupted, unless something else comes out that ends up stealing the spotlight like Arc Raiders did this year. But either way, this then puts Activision in a bad spot, because if they do release in November, their players will leave for GTA 6. And if they wait till December, it'll be even worse, because GTA will then be solidified and operating at full capacity at that point. Basically, every single online game that has battle passes or live service stuff, which is like all of them pretty much, let's be honest, they're all going to be hemorrhaging players when GTA 6 inevitably drops, like no matter who or what they are. So what can Activision do then? Well, they got three options. Either the new Call of Duty comes out in August or September at the latest next year and just tries to make as much money as possible before it all falls apart and years of work goes down the drain once GTA 6 drops, or option two, they release it at the same time frame as GTA 6 and they will just get, annihilated, or, and this is probably more likely, Activision just delays the next Call of Duty till 2027, maybe January or February that year. But that would also put a wrench in their own systems now too, because if they do that, what happens to the future games then? The next Call of Duty, which I guess could be probably Black Ops 8 maybe, or possibly some World War game, comes out then in 2027, that following November. Wouldn't that just reduce their next two games by like a 9 or maybe 10-month window at best? Like I said, there's really no way to go around this, but GTA 6 is just going to screw up the flow for everybody. But again, maybe that's what needs to happen if you ask me, because once GTA 6 drops and it gets its live service world going with GTA Online, everyone is going to have to work harder to justify their games existing now too, regardless of genre or platform. I really wouldn't be surprised if Rockstar has a Battle Royale mode for GTA planned either down the line. They can just drop everybody from a plane over the city and you can all just go hunt each other. That's gonna make them millions of dollars, man. And if GTA 6 is anything like GTA 5, which it probably will be, same developers and all that, it'll have team deathmatch and racing car games and all the other things too, so even Fortnite will feel the pinch as well. So it's not like this mass exodus of players is only because of Battlefield, because even Battlefield will also be staining their pants when GTA drops, because nobody's going to be safe from it. Maybe unless you're Nintendo, I guess, because obviously GTA won't release there anyways, but in Call of Duty's case, the changes might be more rapid than we already thought, as IGN reported here, that Call of Duty's campaign days might be over due to how disastrously bad Black Ops 7's reputation was affected by it. It's no small exaggeration to suggest that Black Ops 7's campaign was so nuclear bad that it staved people away from even buying the game clearly. It was also a co-op campaign, more so meant to be played with friends or randoms than really by yourself, because the plot mattered little. And every time I played this campaign with randoms, I was just making fun of the story and gameplay with completely random people. Like, for example, I beat the last 3 missions of Black Ops 7's campaign with like 2 random guys that were speaking full-blown Spanish the entire time we were playing. I had no idea what anybody was saying, and half the time between the gunshots, I would just hear someone's mom in the background yelling at someone or like a baby crying. Truly a Call of Duty experience for the ages, if I may say so myself. But nobody cared. IGN even brings up how this year's campaign doesn't even have the signature cool moments of older COD campaigns where things blow up and you run away or anything like that that's cinematic, because again, it would be frankly impossible to do with 4 players at the same time. And as IGN puts it here, it just may be over for campaigns in Call of Duty, and they blame it on how bad Black Ops 7's campaign truly was. But IGN then also brings up how Activision has lost the plot by pushing bullet sponge boss enemies in a Call of Duty campaign. There's even full-blown boss fights where you fight single human combatants that just take thousands of bullets to take down, as they just teleport around the map. Like, it makes zero sense at all. Like, gone are the days of all gillied up, where you're sniping a guy and actually taking him out with 1 bullet. Now, if your gun, even in the campaign, isn't of a high enough rarity, your bullet suddenly just can't one-shot a literal, just like, you can't even kill like a normal dude pretty much. Like, it's so stupid. But IGN also brings up stats like this one, where only 5% of players on PlayStation actually beat Black Ops 6's campaign last year, which is not a whole lot of people for the amount of investment given there. You see, I think if Activision wants to remove campaigns for good, they just need to be honest and upfront about it and price their games accordingly so. If Call of Duty launched every year at maybe $40 to $50 max with just multiplayer and zombies, I do think it would still sell well and people would actually be more inclined to buy it pretty much. But the problem is that Activision doesn't want to lose that full premium price point no matter what. So they will just instead opt to include a tacked on campaign mode, even if it's lazy to justify the price point. Otherwise, they'll just make less money. But I think if they priced it like Arc Raiders, their games would have better reputations and better community engagement too. And they can also make up the difference in money, hopefully through other means, I guess, if they want to. But knowing Activision, they won't do any of this, because Call of Duty needs to be a live service premium product every single year to make those billions of dollars like they usually want to. So I guess they'll continue to do the same thing no matter what. But I guess time will tell. However, this is clearly a massive problem for Activision, no two ways about it. Their biggest competitors are currently crushing them. And like I said in other videos, if it's not that, it's the refunds due to the AI use or all the other sorts of problems that are plaguing these sorts of games. Basically, Activision needs to get their act together, but with how they're structured, I'm frankly not sure if they ever will do that. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments as always. Thanks for being here. Subscribe, take care of yourselves, but it's good to see that the mighty have fallen. Now, let's see if they have what it takes to climb back up to the top.